Let's head over to the Western Cape, where they're saying that they are prepared for tomorrow's EFF-led shutdown. Premier Alan Winde outlined the province's plan at a briefing just a short while ago. He was joined by Provincial Police Commissioner Thembisile Patekile. eNCA senior reporter Awiwe Mtila was there and followed details around the plans for tomorrow. Awiwe, a very good morning to you. So they didn't give a lot of details in terms of the specifics about what and who will be on the ground for security reasons, but they are confident that they will be able to protect the people of the province in the shutdown tomorrow.
That seems to be the suggestion, colleague, as the Provincial Police Commissioner here indicated that they've been planning for the last 7 days and they're ready. In fact, some of those different law enforcement authorities are already placed in places like Parliament, the City Hall where the provincial legislature is, and we do know the airport as well. We also know that there's a deployment of the SANDF, South African National Defence Force, on the ground to give backup, then we understand, to the police. The Provincial Police Commissioner here suggested that minimal force will be used if it needs to be, and in fact if the protesters don't fill the water tanks, they will have to fill the rubber bullets, we are told. In fact, let me bring in now the Provincial Police Commissioner General Patekile. General, thank you for joining us at eNCA. 7 days you've been planning for the shutdown tomorrow. What have you been hearing in terms of what's going to be happening in the province?
We've been hearing a lot of things. We've been hearing we've been getting reports of intimidation at shops, and letters that have been sent to businesses to close down. And at some point, our members were in the shop and then effected arrest yesterday. One person was arrested, intimidating the shop owner, the shoppers and the shop owner in town. Now, our plans are in advance. They are very advanced and we are ready. But we are appealing to the community to ensure that they report all those that have been reporting. They must keep on reporting, and especially now we need more reports, but also those who are using social media, we are making an appeal to them to not to use fake news, because that we will not hesitate to also infect certain legislations that guide what needs to be done in an appropriate language, and things that are posted in the videos that are circulating around.
You've mentioned plans that, of course, that you can't go into detail with, but you suggested that you are ready as the police. What of the businesses then on the ground? What do you say to people that are going to work tomorrow morning, or the businesses themselves that are afraid of what may transpire tomorrow?
We deployed in almost all the shopping centers and malls, and also on the roads. The transport industry, in the transport, we are on the road. We would encourage people to go to work as usual, because we are there. But also report what you see. The numbers that we've given there could assist us. There are also numbers that you could send to, so that we can see what's happening. The intention is to respond promptly. But don't hesitate to report, and we also encourage people not to take the law into our own hands. We, the law enforcement officers, are there to ensure that we enforce the law where it's necessary.
And in the city of Cape Town, we know there's an application for one particular march that starts in the city at around 11 o'clock. What of then the other sporadic marches that we can expect from the morning? Will you allow those protests to happen?
We will police them. Remember, the court, the Constitutional Court, has made a ruling to say you actually don't need to apply or give notice to exercise your right. But what has not changed is that once you decide to do that, and then the police must guide you, must direct you how you should march, which direction you should march. And then in that case, then now we assume the responsibility to guide those marchers the direction that they should take. And if then you are not adhering to that instructions and guidance, then you are now breaking the law, the same law that regulates the gatherings, public gatherings. So we may act, but we start negotiating with who, going to the last stages that we normally do. in dealing with the gatherings. We have trained, highly trained members who are dealing with the gatherings from the start of the gathering up to the time it is finished.
And will you also determine the time those sporadic protests, the time that they will end, and maybe what sort of force can we expect on the ground?
Look, the purpose of having a meeting section from a trilateral meeting, a triangle meeting, that means the city or the municipality, the organizers of and the police, is to agree on the time span of that gathering. If we start from 11, and say it's going to end at 5, then we will keep that until 5 o'clock. By 5 o'clock, then it's 5 o'clock. But in the absence of that agreement, you can, as long as you're not breaking the law, we will be there. As long as you are not breaking the law. But if you break the law, we'll then do something else. But if you are peaceful gathering, we'll be there to protect you too against those who don't want you to do that gathering.
Okay, thank you very much, General Patekile, the Provincial Police Commissioner in the province of the Western Cape, as they say that they are ready. That's after 7 days of planning. You remember, colleague, that just on Friday we were at the Western Cape High Court, where the city, joined by the Premier, were taking the EFF to court, wanting an interdict to the protest, not to stop it, but just to ensure that it will be peaceful. Of course, that court interdict granted there by Judge Mark Sher, that suggested that no one going to work is to be disturbed on their way to work, no incitement of violence, no damage to property such as schools, government buildings, or even private property, some of what was in the court order there that was delivered on Friday. But the EFF suggesting that already that was agreed upon as they made the application to the city of Cape Town. So they were a bit baffled as to why they had to be dragged to court on something that they initially agreed on. But of course, we'll see what happens then in the city of Cape Town as well as in the Western Cape, as that planned protest by the economic freedom fighter is set to take place tomorrow.
And of course, this side, Awiwe Mtila, the North Gauteng High Court granted an order saying no violence, similarly to the order granted in the Western Cape. And so that is, of course, countrywide, where people won't be disturbed as they go about their daily business should they choose not to participate in the shutdown.